Well, we got some rain today. Today is the 10th of October. I thought I'd do a little hay update, and might do two of them in October. I'm not sure. I just did a September hay update a couple weeks ago, so I hope I'm not boring you guys out of your wits. So fall is starting to get a grip on us, and we've had some favorable days to make hay. 70 degrees, 75 degrees, and a breeze. But today it's just cold and rainy, and the leaves are not in full color, but you know, they're starting to turn. Even with the rain, the creek's still way down from the summer drought. That sounds like kind of an oxymoron. Even with the rain, we're still having a drought, but the water table is very low, and the water should be right up about, you know, right in there, along in there where I'm pointing. This field down here just did a really good job for us this year. We got two nice cuttings of hay. I've been tempted to try to take a third cut over there, but kind of feel like I need a like an 8 or 10 wheel rake. We need something that, you know, you can open up and rake up a wide path into a windrow that the baler will pick up, and a wheel rake will do it. Standing here in the old barn, it's a good place to get out of the rain. I got a few bales of hay in here from when we were working through our knotters, and then just some old hay covering up some fertilizer I got right there, my old Nancy Ferguson sickle mower model 32. We're going to try to use it some yet this fall. This is some first cutting hay over here, just a handful of bales, and they felt a little heavy to be putting in the our new barn, and I wanted to just kind of lay them over here and let them cool down and dust up. Somebody will buy those for goat hay, cow hay, or goat hay. This field right here we cut and baled last week, second cutting, and had to overcome some knotter troubles on my John Deere baler. Got some videos on that coming, but we were able to get it up successfully, and once we got the knotters fixed, we didn't miss a bale, a single bale. So it's starting to come back a little bit. It's not quite as green as some of the other fields that we've cut, you know, from a few weeks ago. We still got some hay up here, and we got a field down here I'll show you here in just a little bit. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a gang of turkeys down there kind of running out of the field. There's no zoom on this camera, but as I mentioned, we cut this field last week, and second cutting, and we have this bottom down here to cut. It'll yield pretty good. It's got a little bit of foxtail in it, and some grass. Around here they call it purple top or grease grass. Right along this field that I've just been talking about, there's a strip of autumn olives right in here, and then over where all of those stickweeds are, lamb's quarter, we call them stickweeds. There's a transition into that bottom field down there, and I had a portable dome shelter right there, and there's still some pallets in there and some old, you can see a bit of a white speck right there. That's an old tarp that used to go across it. That's an old billboard tarp, and one of the winter projects is to clear all this stuff out and to get those autumn olives out of there so we can make hay all the way through here, but also go down over the transition straight into that field. At some point I would like to kind of merge this field and that field together and cut it and bale it all at one time. this dome shelter right here, we're probably going to give strong consideration to either moving it down in the vicinity of my new barn, but we may leave it right there and just put a metal roof on it in 2021. The plan is to cut this for gleaner hay right in here. I do a lot of walking up here, and it's intentional. You know, I don't really go to a gym and work out like some people, and sometimes I'll join the local YMCA in the dead of winter when it's really cold and walk. But just you know, from a health standpoint, cardiovascular exercise, I just try to walk as much as I can on this farm. And you know, even though it's raining, I'm out here kind of walking around. I've got my John Deere 348 pulled in here out of the rain, and it's on the back of the 5055D. The nose of the tractor is getting a little wet, and you know, we built a nice hay barn, but we still need more space, and I've got an idea that we might add some carports just to be able to park equipment on to keep a rain off of them. But especially I want to try to keep my baler out of the rain. But you know, you got to be careful about, you know, building and spending money on a farm our size, because you know, you can lose your shirt. And sinking money into equipment. And our old barn, it was inadequate and falling down. We had no choice but to build a new barn, and it's been a real blessing. Now this thing looks like it's packed full of hay, and it kind of sort of is. Next year I'm hoping we're going to go to the ceiling, and we may change our approach here and bring the wagons in at that far end down there and park them facing this way and stack hay from the end of the barn back this way. And the idea is to be able to pull a wagon in and then run it out this side door, or pull some wagons in from that end of the barn, park them out of the rain, and even bring a couple of wagons in from this side and park them out of the rain. And as it fills up, we would fill that whole side of the barn over there all the way down to the edge of the door, and we would try to reserve as much space as we can for equipment. But that's just something I'm thinking about. I don't know that it's something I'm going to do. So what you're looking at right in here is second cutting hay, and you see the red markers. That kind of distinguishes from one field to the other. We kind of segregate our hay, but you know, this is really soft. It's really good. This is some really good hay, foxtail free. It's a Timothy mixed grass hay. So on this end of the barn, we've been selling hay. We've been selling hay out of this end of the barn, and things have kind of died down a little bit. I know for sure there's 150 bales that are going to be going out of here. Here's some more second cutting right here, and this is all first cutting. And of course, you know, the sun, the light gets in here, and it kind of makes it all look tan, whereas that looks all green because we just put it in. But you know, if I take one of these bales and just flip it around, you can see where the light hadn't been. You know, that hay right there is just as green as that hay, and it's been sitting in here for since I guess 1st of June. But we have you know, horse customers, and we have some really informed horse customers that are just a pleasure to deal with, and we have some hay customers that are completely uninformed, but they're still a pleasure to deal with. And then we got some hay customers that, you know, if they see this and not this, they think there's something wrong with the hay. And even if you take and peel it open, sometimes they just don't get the correlation between sunlight and a brown surface on a bale of hay. As I mentioned, this is second cutting, and first cutting going down through here. There's some first cutting right in there, and back down along that wall some first cutting, and the rest of it from here back is second cutting. And this is all with the exception of a little bit of hay over in here up against that wall. This is pretty much all horse quality hay, forage tested. We use Equi-Analytical, and our first and second cut hay, we test it. In fact, right there's the bucket we use when we pull our core samples. And I've got a video of forage testing hay. I just haven't had a chance to put it up. But anyway, we've just had a really nice second cutting of hay. It's just come real late, you know, in September and even the first part of October. There's a lot of hay around. There's a lot of square bales. There's not a lot of square bales like it used to be, because there just aren't that many people baling hay anymore, and nobody wants to take, you know, an old 40 to 50-year-old John Deere or New Holland baler, you know, that they buy for $1,000, and then turn around and spend, you know, $500 to $1,000 on repairs. So a lot of square bale hay that's no longer being made into squares. Their farms are being divided up into little 5 to 10 acre plots for homes and McMansions, and then hay that would used to be sold as squares in such volume that it would drive the prices way down, and the people would feel like they needed to cut the price, and the next thing you know, nobody's making any money. So those fields have gone into round bales of hay. I mean, if I had cattle, I'd be making round bales of hay. I wouldn't be doing squares, but our cattle are long gone. And so hopefully things will pick up here. I think next week it's going to be in the middle 70s. We're going to try to get a little more hay baled, and we're going to just see how it goes. You know, we might find ourselves making a little bit of hay in November, and who knows, maybe December. I've seen December temperatures in the upper 60s and 70s for seems like a week with some breeze, and if there's opportunities, we're going to take it. If you ever watch Michigan hay sales on YouTube, he said that very same thing in a video from the other day. I think it might have been today, that he hated to have hay on the ground that he thought he could get up and not do it. I mean, those are not his exact words, but that's exactly what he's talking about, and I feel the same way. So that's kind of the hay update. Fall's kind of starting to get a little grip on everything, and we're still busy haying, but not at the intensity we were on a first cut. Hope you enjoyed the video. Might have another hay update before the end of October. We'll see.